Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today I will be continuing the playoff sim, and in this one it'll be the number 5 Chargers facing the number 4 Bills. So the Bills didn't have a very good season. They went about 9-8. The Chargers went 11-6, so I think record wise the Bills are the underdogs, but they're playing in Buffalo. I think that'll give them the advantage, so I'm going to take Buffalo in this one. But we will see. I wanted the Panthers to win last time, but that didn't happen. And now we get to watch as the Bills kick it off to the Chargers to start the game. So they're going to take it about the 1. And they're going to return it past the 20. Past the 25, it looked like. No, down at the 25. And looks like he got injured on the play. Number 45. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I don't want to mess it up. So we didn't see, crap, I can't think of his name. Herbert. I forget his first name. Justin Herbert. And he, on the first play, he's going to throw it right side. He had his receiver open for a 25-yard gain. It was Everett. So in one play, they're at the 50-yard line. So Herbert's in shotgun, and it looked like false start. So the person who made the play last time got the false start this time. It was Everett on the false start. It makes it 1st and 15 at the 45. Who's the X Factor running back? Herbert tries to throw it to Everett again, and it's incomplete. Makes it 2nd and 15. That's not Eckler that's the X Factor, is it? No. Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to see his man open. That looks to be Williams, who gets down at about the 9. Scratch that down at the 10. So Herbert is now 2 for 3 for 70 yards. That makes it 1st and goal at the 10. Look at that. You just saw him ride over the defender, and he had space. Went from the 45 to the 10. So just like that, the Chargers are in the red zone. Took 3 plays to get down there. Makes you question this Bills defense. As Herbert drops back, he's going to throw it past to his running back. I think that is Eckler. And it's a loss of 1, makes it 2nd and goal at the 10. Herbert in shotgun, Eckler to his left. It's going to flip the play, and it's going to be a fake handoff to Eckler, and he's going to go nowhere. Swallowed up in the backfield, lost 2. Makes it 3rd and goal at the 12. He thought he saw the right read, and it turns out that 4 Bills defenders in his face was not the right read. As Herbert drops back, he's going to throw it, and it's incomplete. He was hit as he threw, and the ball just falls to the ground. So a very promising looking drive wasted to a field goal, as the Chargers are just going to come out for a 29-yard field goal. And it is good. So the Chargers now up 3-0. So on their first drive, they went down the field, got the field goal, when it looked like it was going to be a touchdown drive, but the Bills defense stood strong. So now the Bills offense is going to come out, leading by Madden 24 cover athlete Josh Allen. I have a drink this time because every other time I commentate, it hurts my throat. Speaking of Josh Allen, here he is. He had almost 4,000 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Can't see his rushing stats because Madden only shows the passing stats. So Allen in shotgun. He's going to drop back. He's going to throw it to his left, and he has number 11. Is that Hardy? Oh, no, I thought Beasley was the old one, but I think he left before the season. That was a gain of 5, so it makes it 2nd and 5 to 30. And Allen's going to hand it off, and he's going to have some space. Gains about 12 yards or so. Makes it 1st and 10 at 38. I don't think that was 10 yards. Oh. 8 yards. Allen's going to drop back. He's going to find his receiver, Diggs, wide open for 1st down. So he gets down to about the 47. It was Asante Samuel Jr. on the tackle. And he just did a normal curl route. He just kept running. So Allen's going to drop back. He's going to throw a quick pass to his receiver who drops it. Kendricks with the hit and knocked it out. Allen under center. He's got 3 bunched up to his right. It's going to be a toss to the right, and he's going to be swallowed up by Bosa. Is that Damian Harris? No, he was on the Bills now. Allen, you're looking at the wrong arm. So it's 3rd and 15 at the 47. Allen's going to drop back, and he's just going to throw it at his lineman's nuts. Too much men in his face, and he just had to throw it away. So now they're going to punt it away. And he's going to return it. And he's going to fair catch it about the 13. So the Chargers going to come out, try to redo the drive they just had, except maybe get a touchdown. And also, I'm taking the weather into account for the Chargers, as Eckler has a seam, and he's going to break it free. He tackled at 32, so about a gain of 19. But the Chargers are in California, where it's, you know, warm weather all year long, whatever. And the Bills are in, this is what, January, or, yeah, January, so it's freezing there. So that means the warm, sunny Chargers have to face in Buffalo in the cold, harsh, wintry Bills territory. So they're going to hand it off to Eckler again, try to recreate what just happened. They gains 2 yards that time. So it's 2nd and 8 at the 34. Herbert shotgun, he's going to drop back. He's looking for his man, he's going to throw it deep, and he catches it right over, who is that? Is that White? That was Gerald Everett, so that's 2 receptions for 51 yards. So, looks like their passing attack's going real well. Everett's going to drop back, he's going to throw it over the middle again. He has Allen, who holds on to it. Keenan Allen right there. So, just like that, in 5 passes, he's over 100 yards passing. So Herbert under center. They're now in the red zone, so it's 1st and 10 at the 19. Herbert's going to hand it off to Eckler. Eckler's going to break it free following his blockers and gains about 6 yards. So now it's 2nd and 4 at the 13. Herbert under center. Looks like he's going to audible or change play, whatever. And he's going to hand it off to Eckler, who's going to get swallowed at the line. So now it's 3rd and 4, and this is exactly what happened last time. We get to the red zone, and the Bills' defense just holds strong. Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to throw a quick pass. It's a screen, and Eckler has the space, and he gets the 1st down. Gain of about 6, so now it's 1st and goal at the 7. I bet the Chargers still, you know, have a bad taste in their mouth from how their playoffs ended last year. Up 27-3 against the Jaguars, and then ends up being like 30-27 or something, as he hands it off to Eckler. He gains about 2 yards, so he's going to hand it off again, and he is going to score. That's a touchdown, but there is a flag. Could this be on the offense? Maybe holding, and it looks like it. And it was holding on the offense, number 71, Jordan McFadden. Which makes it 2nd and goal at 14. So wipe that touchdown off the board. And it looks like different running backs out, and they're going to fake the handoff, and he's going to get sacked. There's another flag. So another holding. This time it was number 28, Isaiah Spiller. So they were down at the 8, but now it's 2nd and goal at the 24. How fast all of it can change. So he's going to throw it over the middle, and he has his receiver open. It does not matter. He gets it down to the 2. And now it's 3rd and goal at the 2. That was Parham Jr. on the reception. So it's under center. They got all the big boys up front. They're going to hand it off to Spiller, who's going to get stuffed at the 1-yard line. So now you ask the coach, you going to go for it, or are you just going to kick the field goal? I say you're already down there. You might as well just go for it. If you don't get it, the Bills have to go 99 yards for a score. It's kind of a win-win. And they are going to go for it. So they keep the offense out there as Herbert's under center. He's going to do a quick pass, and it's a touchdown, Keenan Allen. So he threw a quick pass over the middle, and it was caught for a 1-yard touchdown. So the Chargers get the first touchdown of the game. That beautiful pass. It was low, but only to where Keenan Allen can get it. So now they're out here to kick the field goal, make the 10-point game, and it will be. So that was an 11-play, 85-yard drive that took 6.5 minutes. Now Chargers coming out to kick it off to the Bills. And they are going to take it at about the 2. Returns it past the 20, down at maybe 21. So it's still early in the game, but the Bills are down by 2 possessions. So this is definitely a drive that they're going to have to score on. They don't want to have to rely on their defense to stop the Chargers. They got to gain momentum somehow. As Allen drops back, he's going to do a quick throw to Diggs, who catches it. Gains about 9.5 yards. It's 2nd and inches at 31. Allen's going to drop back. He's going to find a receiver open down the middle, and that is a first down. I wait to see if, it counts it, because sometimes it dropped at the last second. But that was Hardy on the reception. So now it's 1st and 10 at 38. Allen under center. He's going to drop back. He's looking for his man. He's going to throw it right. He has Diggs, but it's off the mark. He turned around a little too late, and the ball was practically past him by the time he did turn around. So Allen shotgun. He's going to flip the play. He's going to drop back. He's looking for his man. He's got time. He's going to roll left. He's going to break the sack, but Bosa gets him that time. But he is able to get the ball out. So it's incomplete. So it's 3rd and 10 now. He's going to drop back. And he had someone come right down the middle. He was just in his face right at the beginning. That's Eric Kendricks. No one blocked him. No one even tried to get in his way. He's right down the middle. No, they're just going to show the end of the play. That's nice. There it goes. Yeah, I think that was a running back's fault. So now the Bills are going to punt it away to the Chargers. And he does and gets it off. He's going to fair catch it about 28, 29-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Chargers at 29. And they had them really good last drive, minus a couple holding penalties, but those didn't really matter because they ended up scoring anyways. So Eckler's back in the game. I guess he just needed a breather. As Herbert's going to drop back, he's going to throw it. Short pass to his left, and he's going to get clobbered. Herbert's 9 of 11 for 146 yards and a touchdown. It was Mike Williams on the reception. Forgot to mention that. Herbert under center. He's going to hand it off to Eckler, who's going to break the first tackle and gain about 5 yards. Which makes it 3rd and 5, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. The Chargers are up 10-0. and have the ball. And just look at that. They are dominating on paper. 146 passing yards to the Bills' 28. I couldn't read the rush yards in time, so I'm just going to make up a number, 31-3. So now starts second quarter. It's 3rd and 5 at 34. Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to throw it over the middle, and it's going to be short, 1 yard. So it's 4th and 2 at 37, and it's most likely going to be a punt. And it looked like one of the Chargers players was getting chippy with Matt Milano. So Chargers going to punt it. He's going to return it about the 18. He's going to get down to about the 24. So the Bills defense stood up strong, did what they needed to do, and now it's the offense's turn to try to get some points on the board. He's going to get hit, but he got the ball out. That is Gabe Davis. He got hit, and as soon as he released it, I thought that was about to be a sack. But now it's 2nd and 5 at the 29. Allen's going to do a quick pass to the right, and it's Davis again who gets the first down. That is Gabe Davis, right? Okay, yes, that is Gabe Davis. So now it's 1st and 10 at 34. Allen under center. He's got fullback and running back behind him. He's going to fake the handoff to the running back. He's going to roll right, and he's just going to throw it out of bounds. He had no one open and 3 guys coming in his face. So 2nd and 10 now. And he's going to do a quick toss to the running back, who's going to get tackled behind the line. Makes it 3rd and 11 at 34. So once again, the Bills are looking at a 3rd down. I don't think they've converted one so far this game. If they have, it's probably like 3rd and short. And he's going to do a throw to the left, and it's broken up by Khalil Mack. So it makes it 4th and 11, and the Bills are going to have to punt it away again. So this is probably not how the Bills wanted to start their half. It's constantly punting. Chargers going to get it about the 17. He's going to return it past the 25, down at about the 28. So the Chargers going to come out, try to get a drive going. Herbert in shotgun. Eckler to his right. Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to find his man in the middle. He's at Everett. Gains about 6 yards. And there's an injury timeout as Zion Johnson. Looks like his ankle. Hopefully it's nothing too major. Herbert's under center now. Going to change plays. Going to hand it off to Eckler, who's going to gain. Oh, he's going to fumble it, but his lineman jumped on it. So it's 3rd and 1 now. And he's going to fake the handoff to Eckler. He's going to drop back, and he had his what? I thought that was a lineman. I thought he threw it to a lineman, but he just threw it to a tight end that was right there. So, what? Dang, he just too littled him. But he was on the ground, and Von Miller picked him up, just talked trash to him. Both sides had disrespect going. But the Chargers punted away, and the Bills are going to get it about the 14, and they're going to return it to about 24. So the Bills defense is stepping up, and it's giving the offense a lot more chances, but ain't really doing anything with it. As Allen's under center. Man in motion, and he's going to hand it off to Harris, who's going to get a nice little crease, gain about 5, and now there's an injury to the Bills. I missed the name. It's McGovern. What a last name. So Allen's going to change plays. He was under center, but then he drops back into shotgun. He's going to drop back. He's going to do a quick pass over the middle, and he has a man open. And he gets to the 50-yard line. Allen now has 69 yards passing. Nice. That was a quick pass, too, so he got open real fast. Don't know how he got past that in that time. So that was Dawson Knox on the reception. It was 21 yards. Allen under center. He's going to hand it off to Harris, who has a nice... Oh, he's still going. Gains about 9 yards on that rush. Looked like he was going to tackle, but he broke out of it. So it's 2nd and 1 now. Allen under center. He's going to drop back. He's going to do a quick pass, and it's incomplete. So he was hit as he tried to pull it in, but he couldn't hold on to it, and it fell to the ground. So now it's 3rd and 1 at the 41. Allen's going to flip the play. He's going to hand it off to Harris, who gets the first and a little bit more. Makes it 1st and 10 at 38. So they are creeping towards the Chargers' red zone, but about 18 yards away from it. Harris looks a little gassed back there, so Allen's in shotgun. It's going to be a handoff to Harris anyways, and he has... Looked like he had a hole if he, hit it, but he didn't. So it's 2nd and 8. It's 2nd and 8, not a gain of 8. That's on me. Harris going to run again. Gains about... Or not Harris, it's Evans this time. So it's gain of about 2, makes it 3rd and 6 at 34. So they are in field goal range, so even if they don't, get a touchdown, and Allen's going to go down. It looked like a corner blitz, and it gets to Allen. No one blocked him. So he lost 5 yards in that. It makes it 4th and 11 at the 40, and they're attempting a 57-yard field goal. And it is... No. I said incomplete. That's no good. I don't know if it was short or just far right. It was far right. So the Bills come away with no points. Now the Chargers going to have it at about the 40-yard line. As the stadium is quiet. Bills fans are not happy at all. So Herbert looks like he's changing the play. It's under center too, and he's going to drop back. He's going to throw a quick pass to 81, was at Williams. They're gained about 6, and now they are on the opposing territory. So it's 2nd and 4 at the Bills' 48. He's going to hand it off to Eckler, who's going to get a seam, and he gets the first down. Gain of about 7 yards, makes it 1st and 10 at 41. And the Chargers are now over 200 yards on the game. So Herbert in shotgun, Eckler right behind him. He's going to drop back, and he's going to throw it to the left, and Williams does not hold on to it. That would have been a nice catch if he did, but the DB was right there to hit him. Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 41. Herbert's changing the play at the line. He's going to hand it off to Eckler, who's looked like he stutter-stepped. Gains about 2 yards. So now it's 3rd and 8 at 39. Herbert's going to fake the handoff, and he's going to throw it. He has his man open, and it's incomplete. Tre'Davious White knocked it up, or knocked it out. He did not knock it up. He knocked the ball out of his hands. So now they're going to try a 56-yard field goal. And it is good. So now the Chargers are up 13-0. Also, if I don't seem enthused on like the field goals, it's because I have no idea if it goes in or not until the replay shows me. So the Bills going to get it about the front of their end zone. They're going to get tackled at 20. So loss of 5 compared to like if he would have just taken a knee. So the Bills are now down 13, and this is uncharacteristic. They're not even over 100 yards on the game, and the Chargers are over 200. So Allen's going to drop back. He's going to throw a quick pass, and it's caught. That's Gabe Davis for a gain of about 8. So 2nd and 2 at 28. Allen under center. Chargers got 5 on the line. They only blitz 4, and they're going to do Allen's going to do a quick pass to the left. Number 86, Kincaid. So the rookie, I think he's a rookie. That's a first down, and they're at the 32, and he's going to do a quick pass to, who is that? Hardy for a gain of about 9. So now it's 2nd and 1 at the 41. So Allen's going to do a toss to the right, and Bosa's going to tackle him for a 4-yard loss. So Bosa's been really, he's been really just living in the backfield, tackling the running back every time he gets the ball. And nothing you can really do about that except maybe keep the tight end in to block him. Especially if you're doing tosses. Allen drops back. He's going to roll left, and he's going to get hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. He threw it out of bounds. That brings up 4th and 5. And Joseph Day on the rush. And the Bills are going to bring out the punting unit to punt once again. So the Chargers going to return it. Going to be down about the 21. So on the game, Austin Eckler has 9 rushes for 43 yards, averaging 4.7 yards per carry. So Herbert and shotgun, Eckler to his right. And it's under 3 minutes, so they might try a 2-minute drill. As Eckler gets a handoff, and he breaks it for about 6 yards. And that'll be the 2-minute warning. Chargers up 13-0. And they have the ball. And they're trying to extend this lead. Because no lead is safe in the NFL. We've all seen that. And Herbert's going to drop back. He's just going to throw the ball at the ground. But it was near his receiver, so it will not be intentional grounding. Even though he intentionally threw it at the ground. So Herbert's alone in the backfield. Definitely a passing down. He's going to drop back, and he's going to find his man open. That's Williams. He was doing a seam route, and he caught it. So now it's 1st and 10 at the Bills' 49. And the clock is still running. Yeah, he just found a hole in the seam. And got it to the 49. Took a hit, too. Herbert in the backfield. He's going to throw it. He gets pummeled. Looked like it was to Eckler. Yeah, so he did a quick pass to Eckler and he gets just destroyed by the safety. So Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to throw it over the middle, and he's going to find his man, and no, it's incomplete. He had the ball, but the hit knocked it out. Now it's 3rd and 10 at the 49. And Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to throw it. He has a man open. That's Williams again. And he gets down to the 18, so it's a gain of 31. And Chargers are now in the red zone. He put some zip on that ball, too. He had to make sure that he got there. Right where he needed it to be. Well, I don't know why the clock was still running. I'm pretty sure he got out of bounds. But they aren't going to waste a timeout, not yet at least. And Herbert's going to drop back, he's going to throw it over the middle, and it's Williams again for a gain of about 3. So now it's 2nd and 7 at the 15, and they call a timeout. And Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to see he has his man open in the back of the end zone, and it's incomplete. And excuse me, that was not the back of the end zone, that was the edge of the end zone. So now it's 3rd and 7. Bills are crowding the line. They could be blitzing, or it's going to be a bluff, and it's a bluff. So Herbert's going to throw it straight to the defense. And now the Bills have it. A promising drive ended with a terrible read. That was Terrell Bernard on the interception. Look, he just threw it straight to him. I guess he had his man... Yeah, he had Williams behind him. That's who he was going for, but He didn't arch the ball at all. He just threw it straight to him. Guess he didn't see him. So now it's 1st and 10 at 13 with under 30 seconds left, and Allen's going to change the play. Now they're either going to try to get down the field, and looks like they are. He's going to do a quick pass to the left. And it's 2nd and 4 at the 19, and they aren't calling a timeout. Looks like they're just going to let it run. And that's what they'll do. So that'll be the end. Nope, they're going to do one more play. And it's going to be a handoff to Harris, who gains, 10 yards or so for a first down. And that'll do it for the first half, as the Chargers are up 13-0. And they've both had over 30 offensive snaps, but Chargers are really dominating on offense. In the other games, the Ravens beat the Bengals and the Raiders beat the Jaguars. So it'll be Ravens at Chiefs and Raiders at whoever wins this game. And here's some highlights from halftime, or from the first half. There's a corner route that went about, I don't know how far that went. That went about 50, 60 yards. Let's say 50 yards. And the Bills will start the second half with the ball as the Chargers kick it off. He's going to get in the middle of the end zone. He's just going to knee it. Not going to risk the return. Now the Bills didn't do much on offense. They're barely over 100 total yards. So they're going to come out in the second half, try to light a fuse or something. As Allen's going to roll out, and he's going to find his man Harris open for a gain of about 5. So now Allen has 100 yards passing on the day. So it's 2nd and 5 at the 30 now. And he's going to hand it off. And he has a hole, and he's going to get about 14 yards on that. So looks like the running game's opening up, and it's 1st and 10 now at the 44. Allen under center. He's going to drop back. He's going to look right, finds his man open. That's Gabe Davis, who gets tackled after an 8-yard gain, and he's injured too. Looks like it's something with his ankle. So the athletic trainer's on the sideline looking at him, testing his ankle. Hopefully it's nothing major, and he's able to come back into the game. But the Bills are now on the Chargers side, and with that rush it gets them deeper in Chargers side with about a 3-yard gain. So now it's 1st and 10 at the 44. Allen under center, hands it off to Harris, who gains about 2 yards. Makes it 2nd and 8 at the 42. Allen under center. He's going to do an RPO, quick pass to the left, or to the right, actually. And it gains about 3 yards. So now it's 3rd and 5 at 38. And Allen's going to drop back. He's going to roll right, and he's going to do a throw, and he's caught. That looks like to be his tight end. Is that Kincaid? Yes, it is. So Kincaid catches it. Now they're down at the 16. It was a gain of about 22, I think. That was a good pass by Allen and a good catch by Kincaid to hold on to it. And they are in the Chargers red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 16. Allen under center. He's going to hand it off to Harris, who has a lane, and he gets down to about the 10. So it makes it 2nd and 4 at the 10. Now Allen's going to flip the play. He's going to drop back. He's looking for a man. He has Harris open to the left, and he gets the first down. So that's a gain of 6 on that pass. Makes it 1st and goal at the 4. Man in motion, it's Hardy. Allen's going to drop back. He's going to throw it, and he has his man open. No, it's incomplete. Looked like he had it, but the Jackson knocked it out. So 2nd and goal now. And they got all the big boys on the field, so it's going to be a run. And it is. Harris going to get it. And that's a touchdown. So the Bills are finally on the board. It took 3 quarters. And Damian Harris gets the 4-yard touchdown run. Look at that. That was perfectly blocked. He had big on big, and he just broke through for the touchdown. So now it's a 1-possession game, pending PAT. As they get it, so now it scores 13-7. That was an 11-play, 74-yard drive that took 5 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. So the Bills going to kick it off to the Chargers. And if the Bills defense can do what they've been doing last half, then it's going to be good, as the Chargers return it to 20, so it's a negative 5-yard gain. So Mike Williams on the game so far has 6 receptions and 110 yards with no touchdowns. Herbert's going to change play. He's going to drop back. He's going to do a pass, and it is a 5-yard gain. So I will be going radio silent for a few seconds, and I will be right back. Hello, I'm back, and apologies for that. Announcers have to have bathroom breaks sometimes. So I don't know what I missed, but Chargers punting it, and it's going to go out at around 37. So the Bills going to get it at 37, 1st and 10. Allen's going to hand it off to Harris, who's going to get about 2 yards. And he has 15 rushes on the game. So now it's 2nd and 8 at the 40. Allen's going to drop back to pass. It's going to be a screen to Harris, and he has space. And he's still going. So he gained about, I don't know, 10 yards on that. Makes it 1st and 10 at the 50. He's going to hand it off to Harris again, and he has a lane. And he gets a 1st down. Gain of 11. So now it's 1st and 10 at 39. And the Bills are driving. And it looks like the momentum has shifted to their side. Allen's going to drop back. He has his man open, and it is a gain of 5. I did not see the receiver. Wait, that's like Allen have an interception? When did he throw an interception? The Chargers... Did he have it while I was gone? Oh, and he throws another interception. That's Asante Samuel Jr. He just jumped in front of the pass and got the pick. I know Allen's kicking himself in the butt with that one. Although I don't think that's really on him. That was just a beautiful play by the defense. He had his man and he just jumps in front. Seen that play in Super Bowl 49. The Malcolm Butler special. So both teams have 2 turnovers. I'm assuming 2 picks for Allen and a pick and a fumble for the Chargers. As Herbert's going to roll left and throw it away. He had no one open. Got hit as after he threw it. And Tre'Davious White, his X Factor, is actually activated. Herbert's going to drop back to pass. He's going to find his man open. He's targeting Keenan Allen on that, and he gets it. Oh, so Herbert has 2 interceptions. So they both have 2 interceptions. Oh yeah, because he threw one at the end of half. So Herbert's gonna fake the handoff, and he's gonna keep it, and he gains about 7 yards. Makes it 2nd and 3 at the 49, and they're now over 300 total yards. And he's going to hand it off to Eckler, who gains 1 yard. Makes it 3rd and 2 at the 50. Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to throw it, and it's incomplete off the mark. He led his receiver a little too much, but could not be caught. So now it's 4th and 2 at the 50, and they are going to punt it away. And it's just going to go out of bounds at the 24. It's about a 26-yard punt. Yeah, 26 yards. I was about to say 36, but no. No. So now the Bills have it, 1st and 10 at the 24. He's going to hand it off to Harris, who's had a pretty good game so far. Like, they're feeding him the ball, and he's getting good yards. Now, the average might not look good, but it doesn't really matter. He's had enough big plays to counter the average. It's now 2nd and 8 at 26. Allen's going to drop back. He's going to throw it right. He has his man open. That's number 10. I don't know who number 10 is. Shakir. So, Shakir on the reception. So, now it's 3rd and 5 at the 29. And the Bills are over 200 yards on offense now, and that's Shakir again who gets the 1st down. Gains about 8 yards. Makes it 1st and 10 at 37. We just saw him and whoop, caught it, tackled, 1st down. Still Allen in shotgun. Harris to his left. He's going to flip the play. And it's going to be a handoff to Harris, who's going to... Oh, he had Allen throwing a block ahead of him. But Harris gained 7 yards on that run. This makes it 2nd and 3 at the 44. Allen alone in the backfield. And he's going to drop back. No, it's going to be a QB draw, and he has space. Looks like he went the wrong way, though, but he got the 1st down. Had he have gone left of that blocker, he probably would have gotten a lot more yards. But he got the 1st, that's all that matters. Gets to extend the drive, and he throws it. And it's a gain of about 10, makes it 2nd and inches at the 42. And that is going to be the last play of the quarter. So throw up your 4s, we got a game. As the Chargers are leading 13-7, but the Bills are driving. And Bills have more rushing yards, 84, compared to the Chargers is 56. So it's 2nd and inches at the 42. Start the 4th quarter. Allen's going to hand it off to Harris, who's going to get stuffed behind the line from a 1-yard loss. It makes it 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 at the 43. Allen alone in the backfield. Last time he did this, he did a QB draw. And this time he's just going to pass it, and it's going to be incomplete. The hit knocked the ball out, and Knox dropped it. So now it's 4th and 1 at the 43. And they are going to keep the offense out and go for it. And he's going to be a handoff to Harris, who's going to get the first down. That looked a little close, but I think he extended the ball. So the Bills keep their drive alive and makes it 1st and 10 at the 41. He's going to stand in the pocket. He's going to find his man open on the right side. It's number 11, gain of 4 yards. Bills are over 250 total yards. That was Hardy on the reception. So Allen's going to hand it off to Harris, who's going to break it and get about a 4-yard gain. So now it's 3rd and 2 at the 33. And they're in I formation. So I'm going to assume it's a run, and it is. Harris is going to be stopped short, makes it 4th and inches. Looked like he had the first down, but Chargers defense held strong. Are they going to keep the offense out there or try to kick a field goal? And they are keeping the offense out there. So Allen's under center. It looks like he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. And he's going to do a quick pass to his receiver, who drops it. That's a questionable call. I would have just ran it. I mean, Harris has been doing really good, and all he needed was 1 inch. But I'm announcing, not coaching. I haven't started my Madden 24 career series yet. I've got this, and I'm thinking of doing a overall tournament. I don't know. As Herbert's going to hand it off to Eckler, who gets stopped at the line for a 1-yard loss. Makes it 2nd and 11 at 31. As Herbert's going to drop back, he's going to throw it to Allen, who breaks free of 2 tackles, and he gets the first down. How did he break free of that? It looked like he was going to be down for like a 2-yard gain, but he broke it and got the first. He just spun out of that. That was a gain of 18. Now it's 1st and 10 at the 49. Herbert under center. He's going to hand it off to Eckler, who's not going to go anywhere. Actually loses 2 yards. So the Chargers' mindset on this drive is to run the clock. They don't want to give the Bills another opportunity with a lot of time left. As they're going to drop back a pass, he's going to get sacked. No one blocked Bernard, and he just comes in and sacks Herbert. And now it's 3rd and 18 at the 41. And this is definitely a passing down if they want to extend the drive. And they will not. They're going to hand it off to Eckler, who runs into the one defender in front of him. Makes it 4th and 15. Seriously, he had all that green space and just ran into one dude in front of him. And they're going to blame the offensive lineman for that. I guarantee it. So now it's 4th and 15. They're going to punt it. And it's a good punt. It's going to be downed. Nope, into the end zone. So it's down at the 20. I thought it went out of bounds at the 1 before it went in the end zone. But now it's going to be 1st and 10 Bills at their 20-yard line, with 8:39 left in the game. Allen under center. He's going to hand it off to Harris, who's going to get a yard. Makes it 2nd down at 21. And who has their X Factor activated? I saw it. Who is it? Is that Jackson? Or no, that's Derwin James. So Derwin James is X Factor activated. As Allen's going to drop back, he's going to throw a pass, and it's held on to by number 10 for a 3-yard gain. That's Shakir on the reception. So 3rd and 4 to 26. Allen under center. He's going to drop back. He's He's going to throw it to Diggs, who holds on to it for a first down. Gain of about 7 or so. So it's 1st and 10 now. When in doubt, throw it to Diggs, I guess. So it's 1st and 10 at 34. Looks like he's going to do an RPO, and he has his receiver open. He gains about 3 yards. Looked like he was going to hand it off, but he said, nah, I got this, and just turns around and throws it. There's Klomack on the tackle. Allen does a quick throw to number 11 on the right side, who gets about 3 yards on the reception. So now it's 3rd and 4 at the 40. And Allen's going to change the play in the formation. And there's 3 seconds left on play clock, and he gets the ball off, and he's going to throw it, and it's intercepted! And there's nothing but green grass, and no, the freakishly tall Josh Allen chases him down, and that's Asante Samuel Jr.'s 2nd interception. And that'll put the Chargers in the red zone, actually. Like father, like son, I guess. Just jumped in front of that ball and boop, gone. Could have taken it to the house, but yeah, Josh Allen hunting him down. Seriously, I'd be afraid to see like a 6'8" quarterback running at me like that. So this could be very costly for the Bills and put them in a deeper hole than they're already in. As Herbert's just going to drop back. He's going to throw it over the middle, and he has a receiver open, but he was out of bounds. So it's going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Herbert alone in the backfield. I don't know why they're passing. Like me, I'd be running the ball. Wasting clock, and he's going to throw it right. He has Eckler open. Gain of about 8 yards. So in total defense, the Bills are ranked number 3, and they've allowed 321 yards this game. So now it's 3rd and 2 at the 9. Herbert and shotgun. He's going to drop back. And he's going to scramble forward, but he's hesitated, gets hit while he throws, and goes out the back of the end zone. So now it's 4th and 2 at the 9, and they are keeping the offense out there. I would just take the field goal. Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to throw it over the middle, and it's picked off. Who is that? Number 30. Jackson. So Jackson gets the pick, and now the Bills have momentum. Dane Jackson just threw it straight to him again. Herbert's had a bad tendency of doing that. So the Bills have to go 94 yards for a touchdown, which is something they really need right now just to tie the game. As Allen changes the play, and it's going to be a pass. He's going to drop back, throw it to his tight end on the right side for a gain of about 5, so it makes it 2nd and 5 at the 11. And Allen has 3 interceptions in this game. Allen's going to drop back. He's going to throw a quick pass to the tight end, loses a yard, makes it 3rd and 6 at the 10. And Allen is over 200 yards passing now. Allen's going to drop back. He's going to throw it to Diggs, who is not going to get the first down. He's an inch short. Now they got to go for it. They got to keep this drive alive. So 4th and inches at the 16. What play will the Bills run to convert? And they're not even going to keep the offense. They're actually going to punt it. That's wild. With 2 minutes, 30 seconds left, they're just going to punt it? I guess they have really good faith in their defense. And someone on the Chargers is injured, Chris Rump II. So the Chargers have it. 1st and 10 at 37 with 2:25 left in the game. Herbert changes the play. And he's going to hand it off. No, he's going to fake the handoff to Eckler, and he's going to throw it over the middle. And it's volleyballed up, but incomplete. So now it's 2nd and 10. Herbert in shotgun at Eckler to his left. Herbert's going to drop back. He's going to throw it to Williams, who gets the first down. And that'll probably do it for the till 2-minute warning. I don't think they can get another playoff. Yeah. That was a good play call. He got the first down. You know, new set of downs going into the 2-minute warning. Speaking of 2-minute warning, it is now here, and the Chargers are up 13-7 and driving, hoping to end this game right here. They just need one first down and one Bills timeout. And as he hands it off to Eckler, who's going to gain about 4 yards, Bills call a timeout, makes it 2nd and 6 at the 44. Herbert in shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Eckler again, who's going to break it to the outside, and he gets a first down, and that might be game. So this may very well be over unless the Bills can just find a way to stop them. This Eckler is going to get it again for a gain of about 5, 2nd and 5 at the 30, and the Bills use their last timeout. He's going to hand it off to Eckler, who's going to get the first down and ice the game. Yeah, that'll do it now. They just need to knee it 3 times, and that's game. And they are coming out in victory formation. Chargers will leave Buffalo with a win, and they will move on to face the Las Vegas Raiders at home. So the AFC side of the playoffs is set with number 7 Baltimore Ravens heading to Kansas City to face the Chiefs, the number 1 seeded Chiefs, and the number 6 seeded Las Vegas Raiders heading to Los Angeles to take on the number 5 seeded Chargers. So we have 3 AFC West opponents left in the playoffs, which means realistically it could be a divisional game for the championship. And that'll do it. After last year's loss to the Jaguars, Chargers turn it around and win their wild card game and move on to the divisional round. Now, I thought the Bills were going to win this, but you know, the Chargers had the better record, which means probably played better, obviously. But let's look at the stats. We'll start with the Bills. So Josh Allen with 29 of 43, 209 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, along with 22, and a passer rating of 49.5. That is not what the Madden cover athlete should be doing. Rushing, Damian Harris had 23 attempts for 85 yards. Josh Allen had the higher average of 4 because he ran 1 time for 4 yards. Damian Harris had the touchdown, no fumbles, he broke 4 tackles, and his longest was 14. Receiving, Deontay Hardy had 9 receptions, 46 yards. Highest average went to Dalton Kincaid, who had 2 receptions, 25 yards, averaging 12.5 yards per reception. No receiving touchdowns, and the longest was Dalton Kincaid with 22 yards. Blocking, Mitch Morse had 2 pancakes, and none of them let up a sack. Defensive, Micah Hyde and Matt Milano both had 12 tackles. Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard had 3 tackles for loss, and Terrell Bernard had a sack. And Dane Jackson, Tre'Davious White, and Terrell Bernard all had an interception. But Terrell Bernard taking it 5 yards. Yeah, taking it 5 yards. So, oh, that's pass deflections. I thought it was forced fumbles. So Matt Milano forced a fumble, but no one recovered it. And there was no defensive touchdowns. Why is Shakir out here? He had a tackle. So kicking, Tyler Bass went 0 for 1 on field goals and 1 for 1 on extra points. Punting, Sam Martin punted 5 times for 224 yards, averaging 44.8 yards per punt with a net yard of 209. Kick return, Deontay Hardy had 3 kick returns for 62 yards, averaging 20.6 yards per return, and a long of 23. Punt return, Deontay Hardy had 2 punt returns for 12 yards, averaging 6 yards per return, and a long of 7. So that was the Bills, so we'll look at the Chargers. Justin Herbert went 21 of 40 for 286 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, along with 45, and a passer rating of 52.7. So both quarterbacks had a pretty bad day. But Justin Herbert's day was a little bit better, and he got the dub. Rushing, Austin Eckler had 18 attempts for 74 yards, averaging 4.1 yards per carry. No touchdowns, 1 fumble, and the long was 18. So receiving, Mike Williams had 7 receptions for 125 yards, and the highest average went to Donald Parham Jr., who had 1 reception, 22 yards, averaging 22 yards per reception. The longest reception of the day was Mike Williams for 45. So blocking, Trey Pipkins III had 2 pancakes, and none of them let up a sack. Defensive, Eric Kendricks had 13 tackles. Joey Bosa, JT Woods, and Kenneth Murray Jr. all 3 of them had 2 tackles for loss. And Eric Kendricks and Kenneth Murray Jr. both had a sack. Asante Samuel Jr. had 2 interceptions, averaging 14 yards per return because he had 28 total yards. None of them forced a fumble, and no defensive touchdowns. So Cameron Dicker went 2 for 2 on field goals with a long of 56 and 1 for 1 on PATs. Punting, J.K. Scott had 5 punts for 198 yards, averaging 39.6 yards per punt, with a net punt yard of 166 and a long of 57. Kick return, Darius Davis had 2 kick returns for 43 yards, averaging 21.5 yards per return and a long of 24. Punt return, he had 2 punt returns for 16 yards, averaging 8 yards per return and a long of 10. And that will do it for the last AFC wildcard game. The Chargers beat the Buffalo Bills 13-7 and move on to the divisional round against the Las Vegas Raiders. And that'll do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all in the last wildcard game. Bye-bye.